Have you ever watched a movie that you loved for a second time and you loved it even more? Like you knew what to expect, you knew what to look for, and so you look for other things, and it made you happy in a completely new, different way, and just kind of added to how you feel about it. Well, this movie is the flip side of that. Have you ever watched a movie so bad that when you watch it again for the second time, it's even fucking worse? With the new Ghostbusters movie out, I know, that's going to be a late review. No kidding. But I decided to watch all of the Ghostbusters movies. The thing is, though, my wife and I watched this one a couple years back, and when I decided to do all these movies to review, my wife's like, I'm not watching that one again. So I had to watch this one by myself. And let me just say this right now. I wish I was watching a Bruce Willis movie, because at least it's shorter and less painful. Yeah, I said it, all right? I said it. So Ghostbusters 2016 is some kind of reboot, reimagining. Paul Feig is the director. It's written by Katie Dippold and Paul Feig. It's got Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Rick, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Chris Hemsworth. It's got a pretty good cast. I'm one of those few people who still watch and enjoy Saturday Night Live. None of my American friends watch it. And so I like the SNL actors. It kind of fits that the original had SNL actors who got, that kind of pedigree. I don't care about the whole gender shit. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Just make the movie good. And it's not. And there's reasons for that. One, this movie's an hour and 50 something minutes. So already this movie's going to do what the first movie or two did, but slower. Not good. Maybe the choice of writers isn't that great either. Maybe you should have let some of the, actors. Would have loved to have seen what like Kristen Wiig or Kate McKinnon could have done writing the script. I don't know. The script is awful. By the way, you know how Ghostbusters 2 is only a good movie if Ghostbusters 1 had never existed and you just like had seen just Ghostbusters 2? You're like, oh wow. Well, this Ghostbusters movie still isn't good if Ghostbusters never existed. If this was the first Ghostbusters movie ever, it would still suck. I have a few problems with this movie. I don't like any of the characters. I don't remember any of their names either. They're not really all that likable, all that funny. I just couldn't get behind them. The Chris Hemsworth dumb receptionist thing just fell flat for me, and it's a joke that keeps going for the entire movie. And I'm just like, yeah. That's pretty much how all the jokes are in this movie. There's cameos too, with Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Sigourney Weaver. Ernie gets the best one in my opinion, which is at the end of the film. There's going to be some spoilers. I don't think anyone cares, so I'm just going to do this like a Willis flick. And Bill Murray did a cameo in this, and I have to imagine he just did it so everyone would just leave him the fuck alone and stop asking him. Kind of like Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens, I guess. But even their cameos, it doesn't work because they're not playing the original characters. It's like there's a total reboot where the original characters didn't even exist. So what you needed is a really good story behind it. And I like the story and the ghosts and stuff in the first two movies. They were interesting. Mystery isn't really much of kind of a mystery here. I don't know, man. There's this movie, I struggled to have my attention held for this, probably because it's the second time for me watching it, and I did not like this movie the first time around. I'm like, stop bantering. Stop, like, some of these jokes are so cartoonish. I feel like I'm watching a cartoon. There's a scene that should have been super cool. They're at this heavy metal rock concert festival thing. Ozzy's there. And there's a ghost on the stage. So they've got to go do that ghost. And there's a band on the stage playing. And the band sucks. You've got an Ozzy Osbourne music festival there and you use this, I don't know what this band was. Who cares? They sucked. Like, why wouldn't you just use Ozzy for one little gag? I guess Ozzy performing a live show would have been too expensive, but fuck it, it would have been the only good part of this movie if Ozzy Osbourne was singing live in it. The ghost effects and all that kind of stuff look great. I will give them that. I really like those. Those are some of the cooler parts of the movie. Now the end, which is this whole big showdown between the ghosts and the Ghostbusters. I don't know, man. Why they're just like, oh, we don't need traps anymore? They're just using all their Ghostbuster guns and they're just like, the ghosts are like, poof, poof, poof. Like, you don't need to trap any of these? Like, I know there's so many ghosts that you can't trap them all, but like, that's not, what's this doing? And I guess maybe they explained with all the jargon or something. I don't know, man. That's not what Ghostbusters is. It's not a whole bunch of people going like John Wick style with their Ghostbuster guns on fucking ghosts and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? And then just kind of the way they get shit on the whole movie. And shit on each other, I guess. I don't know. It's just... These Ghostbusters, I guess, care too much about what people think of them as well. The original Ghostbusters didn't. Everyone didn't believe them for they're all crackpots and cranks. But you know what they did? They stuck by their guns and did it all anyway. Whereas I feel like there's always this, like, I don't know, the government keeps shitting on them and all this kind of stuff. It's just like every decision I feel like they make in this movie is not a good one. It's not funny, it's not interesting. And I guess there's plot holes galore in this movie as well, but you know what? Honestly, I couldn't focus on this movie enough to be like that happened, like this happened, okay, alright, fine. And when you bore me to the point that I don't even care about your plot holes or anything like that to kind of go full rant mode, like, this is me. This is like, there's some really bad product placement here. Like, they need a logo for Ghostbusters, and then one of them, for some reason, is just a 7-Eleven logo with this really dumb reason behind it. And I'm like, that's some really bad product placement. Like, why are you doing all this kind of stuff? I feel like someone needed to be there to be like, all right, so we're going to do this. And that person who should be there should, like, do the opposite of that. Apparently, there's a lot of improv lines and things like that, and it feels like it. Feels like it to the point where, barring, like, small character traits and all that, most of the characters kind of feel the same kind of quippiness and attitude and things like that, which maybe explains why I can't remember any of their names. They just would not hold in my brain, just would not hold. This whole movie, by the way, is the setup for them to be in the Ghostbusters fire thing at the end. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking slow. In the original Ghostbusters movie, they had all that in like the fucking first 20 minutes. They did something in Ghostbusters that they've never been able to replicate. Tell a good movie that's funny, builds an interesting world, tells a good story with good characters, all this kind of stuff. They managed to capture lightning in a bottle for this hour and 45 minutes, where if you were to make this movie today, I quipped that it would probably be 2 hours. So this is almost 2 hours, and I've just seen what the runtime is for Afterlife. Just stop. Stop. I think Ghostbusters fans, what they want you to do is to not make more Ghostbusters movies. They want you to stop. Yeah. So yeah, do I even give this a score? This is the 2 out of 10. This is the worst Ghostbusters movie they've made so far. It is a train wreck. Like, I'm sitting here struggling to tell you things that I do like about that movie. So what I give it a 2. Oh yeah, I like ghost effects and stuff. Like the effects are fun. They're interesting. They're cool. Which is what you want. I like them. I guess I like how this movie looks. I just don't like looking at it. more left. At this stage, I'm like, good. Here are my predictions for Afterlife. All right? It's going to ignore 2016. Good. And it's going to be like, I don't know, I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess it's going to be what a modern movie like this is. It's going to be mostly a nostalgia fest. It's going to be probably over 2 hours. I've checked the runtime. It is. And unfortunately, it's going to have child actors in it. I've seen the trailers for Afterlife, and I'm like, I don't even know who that's for. I guess it's for people my age and older who have kids. I don't. So I don't know. I've seen the trailers for that movie. I just see that thing, and I just see cynical cash grab, which is kind of what this is. I don't know. If anyone tells you you're some kind of sexist or whatever for not liking this movie, they're stupid. It's got nothing to do with that. I like Kristen Wiig. Yeah, I like her so much I get her name right. I like Kristen Wiig a lot. Big fan of Kate McKinnon. I like Leslie Jones. Melissa McCarthy, depends on the project. But I generally like the cast. And yeah, I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Actually, I don't even want to talk about Ghostbusters anymore. 2 and this kind of suck. So I'm just like, I don't want to watch a third one. You've only done 1 good movie and there's like 4. Whatever. I've done over 20 Bruce Willis movies. I might as well do this. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.